What's going on? Motor City Sports Talk, your boy CJ Goodfellow. I want to talk about this article I caught on WXYZ.com, and it says that Detroit is the sixth least safe city in America for 2018, and they say the reason why is assaults, high unemployment, high crimes, traffic, fatalities, and unassured population. Grand Rapids ranks as the 48th safest city. Columbia, Maryland took the #1 spot, okay? It depends on who you talk to. What about the safest city? This is according to Wallet Hub. Never heard of Wallet Hub before. But I had an interesting take somebody told me a long time ago, okay? Somebody told me for people that stay in the hood, mainly black people in the urban neighborhood, as we call it, the hood, and some people from the outside call it the ghetto, or on the inside call it the ghetto. The hood is the safest place for a black person to be, and that's from the surrounding areas. Okay, and I agree with that, because when you go to the suburbs, you get popped up, shot up, get stopped, get racially profiled sometimes. Y'all know what it is. But I know grown men that live in the suburbs that's scared to come to the city and avoid the city like the plague. That is an actual fact. We know unemployment is high. It's murders and shooting, people getting scooped up every day. But it's always been bad, around a lot of different cities. Back in the crack era, it was terrible. Only difference is now social media has pretty much put the spotlight on a lot of the things that go on in the inner city. Now, does Detroit need to do better? Exactly. We talk about it most of the time when I do these type of videos. They need to add more to downtown. They need better response time from the police officers. They need the help of the citizens of Detroit to close down on these crimes and stuff of that nature. Need to tear down some of these vacant houses and stuff too. And now it's only going to get worse in 2019 with General Motors pulling 2 plants. I reported the Deham plant, but they also pulled, I believe, the Warren Powertrain plant. And a lot of people don't understand how many jobs that affects. It's not just that, because now the factories, they don't fabricate the parts anymore. Now they get tier 1, tier 2, and I believe tier 3 suppliers to supply those parts. So, to the addition of how many jobs was lost, you got to times that times more, because you have different subcontractors that or tier suppliers that supply that. So this number is only going to go up for Detroit with the plants leaving, and I think Ford is going on a long layoff, and I think a lot of the people across America are not buying American-made cars anymore. So that unemployment rate is going to shoot up next year as soon as they start closing down those plants, some General Motors plants. So, and a Ford layoff going. So yeah, it's messed up. But Detroit is a different type of struggle. I've stayed outside of Detroit a few times, and I'm easily able, when I stayed in Alabama, to go down there and survive, because Detroit prepared me to survive in any type of environment, any type of possible thing that can happen. So I'm always alert. I know how to find a job. You can find a job in Detroit. You go somewhere and find a job at the drop of a dime. I had a friend that went down to North Carolina, got a job with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and she was a stay-at-home wife for years. And she got a job in like a week or two down there. So, it's a different type of struggle. A lot of people don't know, living in Texas and living down south in Georgia, they think it's a struggle, but it is. With Detroit, Detroiters got a great ability to hustle. No other city hustles like Detroit. The numbers might say we down, but a lot of people still living a good life and living better than some people living where it's easy to blossom and bloom at. But Detroit gonna come back. They just gotta learn to switch your hustle up. They made it a right to work state. Supposed to drive more companies here. Now they have to deal with unionized type of things, but it doesn't surprise me that they hire. I thought they may be even higher, but but it prepares you for anything. And unsure population, a lot of people are leaving. A lot of people moved on to Georgia in the 90s and the early 2000s. When I was staying down there was plenty of people from New York and Detroit. The main 2 people I met was from New York and Detroit. I'm thinking about moving again and moving my family out of Michigan, Michigan in general. But it's where my heart is. Always love the city. And I think it's going to come back. Everybody has ups and downs, highs and lows. But obviously, I'll end on this one. You look at somebody in Africa, they don't fear lions. They don't fear lions and deadly snakes and other species, because they're used to it. They grew up in that environment. We don't fear Detroit for the most part, because a lot of people grew up here. They know where to go, where not to go. So we used to it. But when you go outside Detroit and go somewhere else, it's so easy to blossom and and prosper, man. But hey, I'm gonna link this article in the description. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, I'll link the article link in the description. All those links into the description. Intro link, instrumental music. I'll put that link in the description as well. Also, my email is always there, so you can contact me, video requests, questions, inquiries, or you can DM me on one of the social media sites. Want to make a donation to the channel? That link's there as well. And I'm gonna come back with another video right after this one. Motor C Sports Talk, your boy CJ Goodfella. We gone.